Okay, here's part 2 of my story. I think I left off where I made the phone call. Just a quick notice, I am not trying to slam nobody. I am not trying to hurt anybody. This is my story. This is what happened to me. I will not use names. And just my story may help someone else who's going through something. And if you would like to talk, please just get in touch with me. I do not mind talking and I do not mind sharing. And for those of you that's new, in a earlier video I mentioned that me and my twin were separated, and they asked, did you want to know the story? So I will link part 1, the first part, in the iCard above in the description box below. And if I get emotional, I am sorry and I'll break away. So I made the phone call that I wanted to live with my mom. By no means did I think that this would be forever, that I would not get to see my dad or my sister anymore. There was no more contact. I would try to make phone calls, and everything to no avail. Just, I remember it wasn't long. The man that my mom was with at a time that liked me, she didn't stay with him too much longer, so we moved in with my mama, and it was Father's Day. And I told Mama, I says, I'm going to try to call my dad. So the number hadn't been changed yet, so I called, and I'm like, can I speak to my dad, please? And my dad answered the phone by just saying, hello? I said, hey, Dad. He said, hello? I said, I just wanted to call and say Happy Father's Day. He said, thank you. And then there was just this awkward silence. I'm like, okay, well, I love you. Okay. And that was it. I'm like, okay, I'll let you go. Bye. And anyway, to cope with them not in my life anymore, in my mind, I almost had to just say that they were dead. Just so, because you have somebody out there who won't have nothing to do with you, who you can't reach, you can't contact, you can't touch, you can't call, you know. And they did a lot of moving around, and a lot of their phone numbers would get changed. There was someone that I would talk to that would give me their new phone number, but once we called it where I could just talk to my sister, it would get changed, and that never happened where I could talk to her. It was hard on me during this time because all I had was my mom and my aunts and my mom. But we had it hard. We were poor. Like, I know what it's like to be hungry. I know what it's like not to have nothing. I mean, she would work and work and work. Like I said, in our little duplex, we had lounge chairs, an 8-inch black and white TV, and a bed that we shared. We had no refrigerator. We used a cooler, you know, for the longest. I remember when we first, Mama found at a junkyard a little old refrigerator, and the excitement it was to have a refrigerator. You just don't know what it's like to not have one, you know, and to get one. I mean, the excitement. I mean, I remember I was just jumping up and down and clapping and so excited for an old refrigerator. Mom couldn't afford really school clothes. And so went from this protected child, you know, private schools, Christian schools, to just boom, I'm thrown into public schools, and the one that I was thrown into was like one of the worst then in the county that there was. But anyway, I made friends with a set of girl twins. I'm not going to say their name, and I have tried looking for them, you know, but I know that they're married and don't have the same last name, but I have tried my best to look them up, you know, see what they're doing. I would love to meet them. They would take turns staying at my house, and I would, you know, staying at their house. But the school life, it just started to get to me. You know, I had this a parent, you know, and Mom did party and drink a lot at the time. You know, I guess that was her way to cope with it. I was by myself a lot. For days, a lot. Just trying to figure out something to eat. I would sometimes make myself just some noodles with ketchup. That may be why I don't really like pasta to this day. When my friends, the set of twins, came over, we were allowed to eat out of a garden that some people had growing. But we didn't know that they had just put some poison on there. It was 7 Dust. It wasn't like a bad poison or anything. So we were hungry, so we went and picked us a tomato. We're going to make us a tomato sandwich, and we didn't wash the tomato. And we all three poisoned ourselves and got sick. But we were hungry. So it had gotten to where my second year in high school, I was really struggling. I was home by myself a lot. You know, we were poor. I didn't have nice clothes. And it was a bad school. So, you know, I was very protected, and then just this bad school, you know, and my mama was the type, bless her heart, you know, girls only play with girls, and girls don't play with boys, and you don't go nowhere with boys, stuff like that, you know. And just for me to try to cope with it, I would just start skipping school a lot. Nobody would know. It was just me. And I would even write my own excuses, because mine and my mama's handwriting is almost identical. Well, they, you know, eventually called my mom, but it had gotten to where I just wouldn't go. I felt like that I needed to be with my mom to protect her, because if something happened to her, I would have nobody. And she was doing the best that she could. So, and I was seeing a counselor, and the counselor just told Mom it was almost summer break and I was 15. He said, let her go stay in another county with relatives. She's just not going to come, you know, and explain reasons. But I want you to know, I have went back and graduated, so I didn't want my kids to be able to say, well, you didn't graduate. I have since then. So I went and stayed with my aunt, and eventually my aunt started working. Well, she was working anyway. I started babysitting her 3 kids. And then my other aunt, you know, she had 3 kids, and I kept them a lot and loved it. Oh, I love them kids, my cousins. We're still close to this day, because 2 of them, we was more like sisters. I was like their older sister, and a lot of people thought that I was their older sister. You know, I'd take them to their school functions and to and from school, and their little Mother's Day tea in kindergarten, I would go and take them to their ball practices. But anyway, I was still missing my sister. So I'm going to cut this here because I don't want it to be too long. And part 3 will be where I finally, by accident, ran into this person that when I saw peeking around at me, I'm like, oh my gosh, Mama, I started screaming. I said, Mama, there's grub, Mama, there's grub. And I just started freaking out. I'm like, is it really her? Because we made eye contact. We were shopping, and we made eye contact, and she was peeking around the corner at me, and I was peeking at her. I'm like, could this be? All these years has done gone by, so I'm not for sure. I ain't seen pictures of her or nothing. And I will tell about that. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your love. And remember, I'm not trying to slam or hurt anyone. If I can help anyone, just please let me know. Bye, y'all.